up and running. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good weekend and a good Sunday so far. We are taking it very easy around here. It's been a lazy Sunday already, and I'm okay with that. I love it. So, yeah, not much happening here. Today is day 10 of the Spring into Simple Decluttering Challenge. So, this is awesome. We're already at day 10, only 4 days after this. So, today's task, we're tackling paper clutter. And paperwork is something we all have to deal with. It's something that's always flowing in and out of our homes, and it's something that can quickly and easily pile up and cause a lot of clutter and a lot of stress. Good morning, Cheryl. So today we're going to tackle it, but we're going to do it, just in keeping with our theme here, in a slow, non-stressful, easy way. We're going to focus on progress, not perfection, doing what we can with the time we have, and knowing that any time we spend getting rid of some of the paper clutter adds up and matters and makes our lives better, more clutter-free, and life easier to manage at home. So that's today's task. So first I kind of wanted to go through just how you might want to approach it today, and then I want to share something that I have been doing for the last year or so that has been like a game changer for me as far as paperwork goes. So I'm excited to share that. So first, for today's task, I would recommend starting with current paperwork. The stuff that needs to be from the last little while that needs to be dealt with, just so that you can get caught up on what you need to be caught up on, or deal with what needs to be dealt with first before we start digging into, the older stuff that might be more of a project. And I also want to remind you that, even if you only spend 5 minutes, if you do that every day for a week or two, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can get your paperwork under control. So never underestimate the power of spending a few minutes on these kind of tasks. So yeah, we'll start with our current paperwork, whether that's like recent bills or mail or, cards or forms, any kind of paperwork you need to deal with from right now, currently. So gather it all up wherever you're working. If this feels overwhelming, just tackle one pile. If you have lots of piles of paperwork, that's okay. Just tackle one pile of that. If you have a fairly good system and you have it all organized, just go to where you keep your current paperwork and gather that up and start by sorting. First, get rid of anything, you don't need that you can shred, recycle, garbage, and then set a pile of things that you need to take action on. So bills you have to pay, cards you have to reply to, forms you need to sign, things you need to return. Anything that needs an action from you, set that into a pile. And then also make a pile for things that just need to be filed. Whether you do that digitally or keeping the hard copies, just the stuff you need to hang on to. You can usually do a quick Google search to see how long you need to keep different kinds of paperwork in your area. I never like to give specifics because, I might know what works in our area, but I don't know your area. So I always recommend finding that information out specifically for your area. And again, if you are filing stuff, try to be really selective with that. Only keep the things you absolutely have to keep a copy of. If you don't need it, it's probably going to make your life easier if you just get rid of it now rather than filing, and then a year from now you're sorting through your filing cabinet and dealing with it again. So, garbage, action, and file, and just continue sorting through that until your paperwork is done. And I'd also encourage you, if you're finding that you don't have a super great system to deal with paperwork, like if you find your paperwork is still kind of, sitting in piles around the house, or things are getting missed or forgotten or they're late, maybe also take a few minutes to think, how could you improve your system? Maybe you need a different spot to keep your paperwork so it's more visible to you and it's all together so things aren't getting missed. Maybe you need to set a schedule. On Sunday evenings, I usually meal plan for the week, kind of map out my week ahead, and I pay bills at that same time. So, I always know that even if I skip one Sunday, nothing is going to be late because I'll catch it the next Sunday. So, it could be a system you need. It could be just kind of a rhythm or a routine you might need to stay on top of things. So take a few minutes to just assess how you're storing paperwork and how you're dealing with it. There's a couple of links in today's email if you want to check those out for some tips on how I handle paperwork. And keep in mind, I am old school. I like to keep paper copies. I'm a creature of habit. If it works, it works. So far, it's working. So I have no desire to go digital. So, but do what works for you. If digital's better for you, go that route. It's okay to assess, reassess, change. Just make sure it's working for you. Cheryl says, my once a week is on Sunday, so yikes, can't see my desk. Right? Like even just after a week, there's stuff to deal with and stuff piles up. So that's how I would approach it if time allows, or if you have, the energy or the motivation, and you get through your paperwork and you want to start sorting through older paperwork, that's great too. So same kind of deal. Shred or recycle what you don't need. There shouldn't be anything, in your older paperwork that needs action on, but if there is, take care of those things. Reassess if you need to continue storing it, if it needs to stay in your filing system, or if you can get rid of it. Just weed out the clutter that maybe you thought you might need, but you actually don't. And just continue sorting through paperwork, one file at a time, one pile at a time, one stack at a time, whatever it is, just slow and steady, keep sorting through it. So, and then don't stress if you have a lot of paperwork. Just remember that you don't have to do it all today. If you just do 5 or 10 minutes every day, you will eventually get it done in a way that is okay and feels manageable, even if life is full and busy. So that's today's task. What I wanted to share with you today is a tip I got from Dawn at The Minimal Mom. If you're familiar with her, she talks about paperwork a fair bit on her YouTube channel. And one thing that she suggested that has just been so good for me is having a time will tell. She uses a basket, I use a folder, whatever. Just a time will tell container for all the paperwork that you don't need to take action on. There's nothing for you to actually do with it, but you might need it. You might want to look at it again. You might need it in the future. You might decide to use it. It's all that like random stuff that you don't have to do anything with it, but you might want to. So that is the stuff I find that causes a lot of clutter, that just floats around the house or sits in a pile on the counter. It's all the stuff that, I might want that, but you don't know yet. So this has just been a game changer for me. So I actually brought my folder. It's quite full. So this might be a task for me to sort through today. So here is my time will tell folder. And basically I just put anything in here that I might want to look at again. And I thought I would grab it just because I could share with you like what kind of things end up in here. So I have, let me see, I have like some furniture measurements of a piece of furniture we're looking at. I have something like a Nintendo thing that I think it was, like a gift card. And then I wanted to make sure it all went through before I threw it away. I have a receipt I wasn't sure if we would need. I have book orders from the kids' school, like scholastic book orders that are, well expired. What else do we have in here? I have a check that, I did the e-deposit thing and then I just wanted to make sure it cleared before I shredded it. A receipt for a birthday present, and now the birthday party has passed, so I don't need that anymore. A confirmation email that I printed out for tickets that we bought. So just stuff like that I might want to use it, I might need it, but I probably won't, or I might not. So that has been just like so helpful for me to have a place, a container for all of this stuff. So it all has a spot. It doesn't just end up floating randomly around the house. But I don't put it in my action folder because I don't have to worry about, forgetting stuff that I have to do. It's just stuff that I could possibly use if I want to. And yeah, and then it keeps it all contained. It's not floating around. It has a spot. And then every few months or so, I just go through that folder and I start at the front. So I add things to the back. So then I start at the front, and most of it is just garbage by that point because the time has passed, I haven't needed it, or if I've used it, it's already been used, it's done, that kind of thing. So most of it is just garbage, and it can get as full as I want it to let it get full. Because there's nothing, I'm not missing anything. There's no action items. I'm not forgetting something. So then, and also the other thing is it's time tested. This is stuff I'm just hanging on to in the meantime. So then when I do go through it, it's usually really easy because, that's expired, that's no longer relevant. It's super quick and easy. Oh, good morning, Diane. Yeah, so that's something that has really been a game changer for paperwork. This kind of stuff was the paperwork that all ended up just sitting on the kitchen counter. A lot of it might have been information from school, like these book order forms. We'd get these home and sometimes we would order books and sometimes we wouldn't. And I know I can go online, but the kids loved them. And yeah, it gives me a place to put all of that stuff without worrying about it. And it's not clutter on my counter. I'm not missing anything. So that has been a real game changer for me. So I hope that tip is helpful for you guys too. Just having this time will tell basket, folder, whatever works for you is just like the ideal place to put all that stuff that we're not sure about. Dawn talks about like catalogs that come in or paint samples. Like if you've ever gone to get paint samples, what do you do with those while you're deciding? So all of that kind of thing. A quote, if you get a quote for some kind of service, that's a good thing. You may use it, you might not. Receipts. Like I love to put receipts, especially for like gifts, because then I have the receipt if something doesn't work and we need to return it. But, if time goes on and the gift didn't need to be returned, the receipt's garbage. So yeah, I hope that's helpful for you guys when you're tackling your paperwork. That's just a trick that has like really changed things around here for me, and it's been so helpful. So I hope it's helpful for you too. So today, just tackle your paperwork. Start with your current paperwork. If you have time and feel like tackling older paperwork, go for that. If you can kind of just take a few minutes to assess how your paperwork system is working for you, and if it's doing its job or needs a few tweaks or changes, do that. And then if you think the time will tell idea might work for you too, that might be something you also want to add to your system. So that's today's task. We'll do paperwork today. Oh, good idea, Cheryl said. Yeah, it's been like really helpful for me, and I just think it's great for all that random paperwork that we don't really, there's nothing to do. Oh, and Kat says catalogs go directly into the trash, not buying more stuff. That is a great strategy because, yeah, it just removes the temptation, gets it out of sight, out of mind. So, yeah, those are a good thing to do as well. So, keep posting in the Facebook group. I would love to see your piles of paperwork disappearing. And I'm excited to see what you're working on as far as that goes and how it goes. Keep giving us updates. And then tomorrow we are going to move on. Let me check here. We're going to move on to our wardrobe. So I know decluttering clothes is something that some people have no problems with. Some people find it a little bit harder. So we have quite a bit to share tomorrow about that to hopefully make the process easier and more successful. So that's tomorrow. Paperwork's today. Post it in the Facebook group, and I will be back here tomorrow at 9 again for another video talking about how we will tackle our clothes. So take care, everybody. Happy Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow.